Okay, we're going to design a tattoo in Photoshop. I'm going to give you guys, this is what I came up with. This one is a black and white one. I'm also going to show you guys how to do a colored tattoo. Here's another example of how the colored one looks. It looks pretty good. Alright, I'm going to show you guys how to get the example of the images and all the other stuff that goes with that, and to set up the file. So, let's go to the internet first, and you could find someone, you could do a search on someone's chest muscle, you could do a person's back, you could type in person's bicep, it could do a frontal or back, real deltoid, it doesn't matter what part of the body you want, I don't care, make sure it's appropriate, right? Images, you could choose flowers like a lotus, you could do tribal stuff where you get tribal tattoos, there's other, you could do an angel, there's angel tattoos you could do, black and white or color. I'm not forcing you to do any one of them, however, I'm going to show you how to do the color one first. And you could change your color tattoo into black and white. So here's how we're going to do this. First, you get the image you want. Find the subject matter, get an image. Let's just say that I love this one, right? I can right click, go to copy image. You're then going to go into Photoshop. You'll go to File, New. Automatically it sets up the dimensions, hit Create, and then you'll go to Paste, right? So you'll have the image in there, right? So that's your image. So this is what I used. I used this guy right here. So I'm just going to use this one. So I'm going to go to Select All, Edit Copy, because I want to stick with the same image. So I'm just going to not use this guy. I like the image I used it for. So I'll go to File, New, and I'll hit Create, and then I'll just paste this guy. Boom. Now that's my image, okay? And then I went to the internet and I found my subject matter, which in my case was a lion, all right? Now, the lion, I got rid of the background, okay? You can get rid of the background too. You should know how to get rid of the backgrounds now. You guys have so many options. So if this is the background right here, what you're going to do is you can, let's just say this is your background. You know, you guys know you can use the magic wand tools to select backgrounds and delete them. All right, you guys know how to do that. So I'm not going over the background selection. You can do that your own by looking up the third video that we do here, which is the zombie one. So here we're going to go to once you've gotten your image and you've gotten rid of the background of it, you go to Select All, Edit, Copy, and then you're going to go into your image and you have a layer 1 that you've pasted in, background, pre-slugged, edit, paste. Boom, there's my tiger. I'm going to shrink the tiger. First place it into layers, Ctrl T, shrink it, shrink them on down, boom, get them down low, 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 good, 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 good. I like it. I like a bigger image so you could really appreciate it. Let's lower the opacity. Well, before we do that, first of all, with this image, you should make it a smart object first, okay? So you're going to right click in the area, and you're going to go to Convert to Smart Object. After you've converted this to a smart object, lower the opacity of this so you can see how it's going to look on whatever body part you choose. I want to move this over to the middle. I'm thinking this looks pretty legit. I'm liking this. Alright, that's cool. So I'll bring it all the way up to the top, and that is that. Sorry about that. I'm going to lower that a little bit. I'm going to lower that a little bit. Sorry. So right about, I'll go to like a 65 or a 70. This is going to get changed a little bit later, so don't worry so much about it, alright? Now that we've done that, we've lowered it a little bit, we're going to erase the parts that we know we don't want to see. So, in order to do that, you're going to come here, create a mask. I've created a mask. In my mask, I'm going to use my eraser tool. I'm going to make a soft edge, and you want to erase on the mask. I'm non-destructively erasing the edges of whatever subject matter. In my case, it's a lion. I like it, right? Boom, boom, boom. Moving him over, and he's looking pretty legit. You want the lion to be a little more vibrant, you bring it up. Want it less, you bring it down. Now, listen up. There's a couple of other things I want to go over with you. One little cool trick I could show you how to make it fit on the body is you hit Ctrl T on this on your mask layer rather. You're gonna unlink the layer mask to the image itself. You're gonna then hit Ctrl T and then click on this mesh right here. When you click on this mesh, you can now pull it a little bit and make it fit other parts of your arm to make it look as though it's, it's really fitting the contour of the arm. You can pull it in a little bit on certain areas, and then it comes in like that. Okay, so that is the mesh tool. All right, so once you're done, you click your move tool, you click away, and you can see how it looks now. All right, it's kind of moving a little bit, getting more to life. Wonderful. Moving on. All right, so this is looking pretty good now. What I want to do right at this point, now that it's shaped onto the arm, I want to go into the blending options. We're going to right click onto here, and we're going to go into the blending options. Move this out of the way so you can see what's going on. Make sure you can see your image and this part of the current layer and the underlying layer in the blending options. You are now going to be able to move these a little bit and see what goes on. You don't like the way it looks? Hold Alt, and you're going to be able to break these up, and you can now move these to create shadows and bring back your arm. See that? How we could bring back the arm? Right here. And then we can come back here, bring this in. Nope, too much, right? Okay, hold Alt, break it up, and now you could bring just a little bit of the arm back. See how it slowly comes back? And now we're bringing the arm back, and there you go. Now, that looks very realistic. And now we have that much better, coming along pretty well. So now you can also higher the opacity of it and see how it looks more vibrant, you know? You can bring it all the way up and it's really super duper vibrant, right? Or you could lower it a little bit so it's a little bit more convincing. Lastly, we're going to go to the curves menu, which is image, adjustments, well, the curves. On this layer, you go to image, adjustments, your curves, which is Ctrl M. Move the curves out of the way and watch. You can bring it up or down, lighten it and darken it in your curves menu. We've been to the curves menu. I think it's cool when you kind of bring this over a little bit and give it a little bit of light, you know, so it's like a little lighter over there. It's kind of not too much because then it gives it that fake Photoshop effect, you know. So right about there is, it's looking pretty legit. Let's get about there. That's cool. All right, why not? And there's one other menu. It's the levels menu I want to show you. So check it. Control L. Sorry. On the layer, image, adjustments, levels. Control L. Move the levels out of the way, and then you can play with the levels a little bit here, and also the lightness and the darkness of it. Okay. So that's the one. That's one for the levels. All right. So now that we have that done, this is not bad. It's just a little bit too vibrant. Lower a little bit. There you have it. That's a legitimate looking colored tattoo. Now, other images that we can put onto here. First of all, if you want to make this black and white, watch this. All you got to do is in this one, you're going to then go to the, this is normal by the way. You can hit this drop menu and you can go to overlay, lighten, soften. All of these will do different things on your body part. You can also higher the opacity after you've played with some of those and gone with the different soft lights. You can also do these at different points in time while you're working. You can go to dissolve and lower it. It's entirely up to you the way you want to do it. It's going to have all of these will have different types of filters on it. You can also keep it to normal. I found that soft light and overlay are really good. Overlay and soft light seem to be the best ones in my opinion for this. All right, not dissolve. Sorry, soft light. Okay, cool. There you have it, looking sharp. All right, soft light, boom. All right, so that's that one. Now, if you want to change this to black and white, hit the drop menu. You can go to luminosity right here on the bottom, and now it is a black and white tattoo. Okay, now it's a black and white tat. So you can keep it that way and also lower the opacity of this, and then you have it on there like that. So there's a few different ways to skin this cat. Lastly, the images that you can choose. Let's go. So when you go onto here, you could choose the lotus, you could choose the tribal stuff, you could choose the angels, all of those different things you can select. Now, last thing I want to show you, make sure that these are not connected. You're going to go inside in your new layer. You're going to get, watch this. Let's say I want to get super duper close, and I'm going to make these eyes blue now. So here's how we're going to do that. We're going to come over to here, and I'm going to go to the polygonal lasso tool, because I know that I use that tool. Watch how we do. I'm going to get close enough where I can see the eyes. On my lion, I'm going to go to the polygonal lasso. I'm going to start to trace these eyes because I want to change the color of these eyeballs right here. So I'm getting this eye right here. I'm going to go to edit, copy, edit, paste special, paste in place. I have the one eye. Now I'm going to get the other eye. I'm going to go to the polygonal lasso tool. I am now going to slowly start to trace this other eyeball right here. Not too bad, not too shit. And you notice I'm going out of the line. I'm going super quick. That's all right. Watch how we do. I'm going to go to edit, copy, edit, paste special, paste it in place. Beautiful. Now, I'm going to fix this eraser tool. I went to the eraser tool, and I made sure that I got a good size edge right here. And now, what I'm going to do is, before I do that actually, I'm going to hold Shift. I'm going to grab both of these layers. I'm going to right click and merge layers. Look what I just did. I put both of these layers together. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to erase slowly these edges right here. Okay? I'm erasing all of these edges so that it's nice and soft over here. And I'm slowly erasing the edges over here, right here. Boom, boom, boom. Nice. Soft edge, soft edge. Good, 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 good. Now watch this. Back out. Control 0. Now look. I have a colored focal point. This looks awesome. You know, I'm going to double click on this layer. I'll call it eyes. Now on the eyes layer, watch this. You can leave it there. It looks fabulous. Or you could do this. Control U. And you could change these eyes to any color that your heart desires. You like the red eyes, don't you? Or you could do the blue eyes. You're right. It's entirely up to you. So as you back away, now you can put colored focal points onto your tattoos. All right. As I said, your tattoo could be black and white. It could be in color. To make it to color, you get out of luminosity and you go back into the other ones, which we had, like the overlay, soft overlays, right? And then if you don't like the way that it is, you could also bring the opacity up, and you can get it to look more realistic here. All right. So you're gonna have to play with this and do other things with it. All right. But there is no right or wrong with this. Everyone's tattoo is unique to the individual. And please have fun with this. Thank you.